Hey team, it's Jennifer Atherton, and I want to share with you this wonderful book that I read, and I'm going to have all of my team members that want to do real estate or mortgage with me. This is now required reading. This book is called Zero to Diamond, Becoming a $1 Million Real Estate Agent. It's about this thick. My lips are fatter than this book. It's really easy read. The author does over 100 transactions a year, and he pretty much lays out the business plan to be a top producer in your field. So even though this is targeted towards real estate agents, it can really It can really transfer over to mortgage loan officers, and if you have your real estate license and your mortgage license, it's really the same thing. Reading, it's available. I'll put the link below. And I just wanted to read you some of the things that I highlighted and that I thought were really amazing. And for me, the goal was to have consistent closings every single month. And this is the challenge for most agents. You need to have closings every month. You need to get into your cycle. You need to be making money month after month. And it can be hard when you start. But if you want to be a top producer, this is what they're doing. They're closing. You're looking for consistent closings, and that takes consistent actions. So if you're a new real estate agent or mortgage loan officer, this is pretty much your Bible. This is your business plan. This is your blueprint on all the things that you need to be doing to get closings every month. And you're creating and maintaining strong, long-lasting relationships with your clients. Think of a transaction as plucking a single apple from a tree. Think of a relationship as plucking a single apple from a tree. Think of a relationship as planting the tree, fertilizing it, and nurturing it into growth. So that's two different ways. You can pluck the apple off the tree, or you can plant the apple tree. And mastering the relationship part of the business and realizing how many relationships you must have in place to achieve your goals is the big secret that agents want to know, and it's right in front of your noses. So he's saying real estate and mortgage is a people business. You have to reach out to as many people as possible, to many homeowners as possible, and whoever is talking to the most homeowners and giving them great service and having a relationship with them is going to win the real estate and mortgage game. He's talking about how do you make the highest amount of commission in the least amount of time. So his business strategy is already reaching out to people that have homes, that are homeowners. They already know the process. They already know what they want to do. That's a listing, and that's also, buying another home. Where first-time home buyers, they kind of have to be trained on the process, and once you get them, they'll give you business forever. To get the highest amount of commission in the least amount of time possible, your number one client should be already homeowners, okay? You have to consistently do what other agents aren't doing. You have to be energetic, you have to be upbeat, you have to be the first person here in the office and the last person to leave. Always get your car in the same spot so everyone knows that you're here, that you're reliable. And especially if you're a new agent or a new mortgage loan officer, you kind of have to fake it till you make it. There's a lot of things that you're not going to know. There's a lot of new experiences that you're going to go through. We're here to help you, and as long as you're willing and able to learn, you'll be fine. And you have to really adopt the lifestyle of a top producer. Pay attention to the top producers in your area. Watch how they work and live. Handle situations and how much business they are doing. And it's pretty much the same thing over and over and over. This business isn't rocket science. It's the same thing over and over and over. Top producing realtors and mortgage loan officers have kept what worked and keeps doing those things repeatedly. So next page. So the first area to focus on is hard work. Get up early and get to work. Try to be the first one in the office every morning. When the other agents start to see your car parked in the same spot consistently for months and months, they'll start to realize that you're the hardest working agent here. And you should start building your reputation today, right this second. Okay. Be an information provider for your clients. Let them know what's going on in the market. Let them know, keep everyone informed on the recent market info at all times. And this will prove that you're a market specialist. Another thing, top producers have time to seek more listings, contracts, and projects. Why? Because once they do a deal or get a listing, they forget about it and only check on it from time to time to make sure all is well. So follow up with your clients, have a great follow-up system. Once you get a property under contract, it only needs to be checked on once in a while. You don't have to spend all day on this one contract. You should be spending all day getting more clients. Okay, so here's the 5 steps you gotta do. Find prospects, follow up as many ways as you can. Some people are texting people, some people are email people, some people are phone call people. You have to kind of follow up to the best way that your client likes to be followed up with. When they're ready to sell or buy, put it under contract, negotiate the deal. Put it under contract, negotiate the deal, process and close the deal. You're going to do that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And that doesn't matter if it's a real estate transaction or a mortgage transaction. It's the same 5 things over and over and over. So how good can you do those 5 things? And he talks about following up and sending out mailers and doing that every 6 weeks forever. Just keep, because you never know when people want to buy and sell, but you want to just keep calling them and just staying positive, having everything being super positive. Don't blow up about stuff if your deal doesn't go through. Don't lose your beep, because people are always watching on how you maintain yourself. And there's only 2 questions that you have to ask. Are you ready to put it on the market? Are you ready to make an offer? And again, this book is really easy to read. I put a lot of notes on this section here. So I said, when you send mailings, on an average success rate is around 3% over the long term, 3 to 5 years. So success depends on how many mailouts you are sending and what you're putting on your mailouts. It takes an average of 7 pieces of mail before a prospect really gets your name stuck in their head. So if you add a phone call in the mix, your success rate jumps from 3% to 18%. And calls really make a difference. Call to ask if they've been receiving your mail and if there's anything you can do for them. And it's just like super simple. Following up. You are going to learn how to follow up working with us. 90% of your business is increased in your chances in your area by 600% with your follow-up. It says the business is much easier than most agents make it. The trick that I use is mostly mental. Understand how businesses creating set your mind to the Nike slogan, just do it, and have the ability to duplicate the creation process repeatedly like a machine. These mental efforts separate the high producers from the low. For extreme efficiency, the perfect and doable number of calls to make is 20 to 30 calls each day, 2 to 3 days a week. You might want to do more in the beginning of your career to help build your database, and you're just asking for name, email, phone number. That's what I do online. Someone's interested, what's your name, email, and phone number? Maybe they're not interested in buying or selling or getting a mortgage today, but they will in the future. Email them, text them, send them mailers. Just keep saying, hey, I'm here whenever you need me. And what I really love about this guy is he does a very low pressure approach. So people come to you when they're ready. And he was saying earlier in his career, which some of you may be, you know, he was making 50 to 100 calls a day. You know, he was hungry for success, which you may be too. Regardless of how experienced or inexperienced you are, do 20 to 30 calls a day. And it just adds up. It just adds up. He also explains how to do reverse phone lookups and everything. And when you're on the call, not really like selling what you're offering, but creating a relationship and just being here to help people is the mindset shift that makes $1 million a year. And sounding happy. People can hear you smiling over the phone. Okay? And just saying, so he's saying when you cold call people, number one, ask them how they're doing. Number two, ask them about the weather, because the weather is something we all have in common. We all have in common. And he gives you a bunch of reasons on why you can call someone and say, hey, I was just calling because I'm calling today because your house is for sale by owner. Would you work with me if I brought you a buyer? When can I see the house? He gives you a bunch of scripts too, as well as on his website. Ask for referrals. How easy is that? Ask for referrals. If you see the top producing real estate agents and mortgage loan officers, they're always asking for referrals. Like, they got their mask on that says, please send me referrals. Like, referrals, they're like, send them to me, send them to me. If you know somebody, send them to me. Every single day, the top producer in the Bay Area, all I see on his Instagram is send me referrals. Send me referrals. He has a mask, literally, that says send me referrals. So that's why he's the #1 producer in the Bay Area, where they're bidding over $100,000 on houses. Like, he's killing it. He's killing it because he's asking for referrals. So you should ask for referrals starting today. Every day, ask for referrals. How easy is that? Oh, here. He gives you some tips here. Number 1. Do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Sometimes I forget, so I have to write everything down. And that way I have a record. Because if I don't write it down, I forget it. So whatever system, if you say something, write it down and do it. Always look professional and wear nice clothes. Build a reputation as the hardest working agent in your office. Stay on top of the active listings and recent sales in your area. Always answer your phone. Always answer your emails. Always answer your text messages. Be on call 24/7 for any of your clients' needs, including helping them move a piece of furniture. Protect your client's interests always, especially when negotiating a contract. Never ask questions unless you know the answer. If you don't know, reply, but I'll find out, and always find the answers promptly. Listen more and talk less. You should be listening 80% of the time and talking 20% of the time. And maintain high levels of energy and optimism. He does this whole thing on positive thinking, and he has a whole chapter on not jumping too early to conclusions. And then he says every time he gets a listing or he closes a sale, he sends a postcard to the surrounding owners about the transaction. How easy is that? And then he talks about hiring an assistant. So he says if you have about 30 listings constantly going every month, then it's time to hire an assistant. Every top producer has a great assistant. You find out what are the essential income producing activities for you, and then you delegate everything else. Doesn't that sound like fun? So you're not like doing all these deals and running around with a chicken with your head cut off, because you have help and teamwork. And I definitely recommend hiring a TC for your real estate transactions. So then he goes over how to hire an assistant and what to look for and how to train them. And then he says, you know, it's very important to never stop pushing forward and learning new things. Like, always be growing, always be learning how to be better. And then he also talks about health. And he says lots of successful people spend their whole lives making money, but having neglected their health, then burn all their money trying to restore their stressed out health. If you don't take time to be healthy, eventually you'll be forced to spend the time. So he recommends exercising every morning before you go to work and staying healthy. And then the last page here, he says balancing out home and work is more important than balancing your checkbook. And he is in the office at 8 a.m., but then he leaves at 5 p.m. every day so he can have family time, which is a great balance. So, all my team members, this book is required reading. This will definitely put you in the winning mindset. Even if you just take one thing from this book, it will make you so much more successful and learning from the best. This guy does 100 deals a year, every year. If you're just starting off, I'm going to give you 3 years to get to that level, following everything this guy says. Super skinny book. You can read it. I read it in like a night. And really easy to read. And it's almost like my reference book. I'm keeping it here in my office if you need just something to kind of pick me up. There's no reason why you're not going to be successful if you read the right material, if you have the blueprint for success, which is right here. And yeah, required reading. Thank you for watching this video, and stay positive.